So this is my cockamamie story. I was once a victim of a carjacking in downtown Lexington. At least I thought I was being carjacked for a minute or two. I can explain though. So I was headed to a friend's house downtown Lexington in the East End, and we were gonna have a get together at their house, but I was supposed to come early to help set up. But I was like way too early, like 30 minutes too early. So I texted her and said, I'm here early, is it okay if I come in? She said, just give me 30 minutes and you can come in. So I said, well, okay, I'll just wait outside. So I took my car and I drove down the street, parked across the street in a parking lot, and just, I rolled the windows down, I locked the doors, turned the engine off, and I just pulled out my phone, scrolling on Facebook and whatnot. And then this woman approaches the passenger side door, and she reaches in the window, and she pulls open the lock, opens the door, and says, hey, just act normal. I'm like, act normal? She was like, yeah, just act like you know me. She said, just for a second, just hang on a second. I was like, okay. And she's like, just talk to me. I was like, okay, how am I supposed to act normal? She was like, I don't know, just act normal. She was like, the police are out here. She said, they're looking for me. I was like, And she said, you have $10? I was like, no. She was, I need to get gas. I was like, well, I can't help you. She goes, opens the car door, gets in, sits down, shuts the door, says, oh, you can just take me to the gas station, that's fine. My car's there anyway. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, can you take me to the marathon? I was like, marathon? She's like, yeah, just down here, MLK, just take me to the marathon. This lady's already in my car with the door closed, so I'm like, oh. I was like, I'm trying to meet my friend here, and she's like, I was like, I guess I can just take you real quick. It's literally 2 blocks away from where we're sitting. And I don't know why she can't walk, but she's begging me to take her. So I'm taking her, and she says her name's Sherry, and she asked me what my name is and what I do. I told her my name's Mark, and I say I work at a church nearby actually. She goes, oh, okay, a church. Her attitude changes completely. She gets excited, and I was telling her I do administration there, so I know all about like the resources to get help if you need money. And she's like, oh no. She goes, I love church. She goes like, I love God. I pray all the time. I'm always praying. She's like, and I don't do drugs or anything. Yeah, I haven't done drugs. I don't have any drugs on me right now because I haven't done drugs in years. And she's like, I pray all the time. She's like, and I also don't have any guns on me either. No guns. She goes, you might think I have guns. Take one look at me. Looks like I have guns, but I definitely don't. And I'm like, what the heck? And she's like, I'm a good Christian lady. I'm like, okay. So I'm immediately suspicious and skeptical, and I have no idea why in the world she brought up the idea of drugs and guns, whatever. And I'm like, okay, I need to get this woman out of my car. We're close to the marathon station. We're about a block away, sitting at a stoplight, and a cop comes through the opposite way, and she's like, duck, a cop! So she gets down, and I'm like, what? And she's I'm just kidding. I was like, but now I'm not sure because maybe she's joking about the cop, maybe she's joking about the guns, maybe she's joking about the drugs. And there's a guy walking by, and she leans out the window and says, hey Bernie, get in! And this guy comes and gets in my back seat, climbs in, and she goes, and he just gets in, and so now I'm getting more confused and worried, and I've suddenly become an illegal Uber driver for multiple strange and questionable characters in the East End of Lexington who are apparently trying to hide from law enforcement, and I'm driving them around now on errands, apparently. So Sherry says, what's up, Bernie? He goes, this here's Mark. He works at a church. He's giving me a ride to the marathon. Do you have my car keys? I'm like, why would Bernie have your car keys? And why in the world? And he's like, no, I don't have your car keys. And she was like, oh, shoot, I guess we can't go to the marathon then. I guess we'll have to go look for them. I'm like, what? She goes, can you take me to get the car keys? And I was like, nope, I'm taking you guys to the marathon. I'm dropping off there. They're like, please. Like, we don't have guns. Bernie, do you have any guns? He's like, I don't have any guns. She's like, right, he doesn't have any guns. He's like, nope. And she goes, you don't do drugs either, right? He goes, nope, I definitely don't do drugs. I'm like, and so they're begging with me and pleading with me, please just take us to our friend's house. They have the keys. If you can just take us there, that'll be the end of it. Just take us there, we'll get the keys, and that'll be it. You don't have to take us back to the car. So naive as I was, I relent. I meant to mention this earlier, but I just moved to the area. I'm from Eastern Kentucky. I just moved to Nicholasville. So I didn't even know anything about Lexington. I didn't know anything about downtown areas at all. So I'm taking them, driving them around again, and I'm like, where am I going? And they said, Joel, just keep right up here. So I'm still driving, come to an intersection, keep going straight. Come to another intersection, turn right. Come to another intersection, turn left. So I'm just like, and this Bernie is giving me all the directions from the back seat. I have no idea where we're going. I'm starting to panic. So finally, when I'm thinking, all right, guys, I got to drop you off. The whole time I'm thinking, oh my gosh, how can I get rid of these people? Finally, they're like, we're here. So I pull up to this shady-looking house on a shady-looking street that I've never been to before or ever heard of. And then they say, we're just going to grab our keys from our friend real quick. We'll be right back. And I say, okay. They're like, promise you won't leave? I was like, it hadn't crossed my mind before, but maybe I will. I'll leave. And they're like, no, please don't leave. Just be 1 second. Just get our keys, and you just take us to the marathon. We'll be right back. I was like, no, I don't know. I gotta go. Like, please, promise. Just swear you won't leave. Promise. I was like, okay, I won't leave. So they go up to the door, and they're knocking on the door. No one's answering. I'm like, oh gosh, what is happening right now? They're knocking. And they're looking at me like, no one's answering. So they go around back. And so I'm like, okay, now's my chance. I'm gonna break the promise. I'm leaving. So I start to pull out, and then they come running back. And they're like, wait. They're like, they're not there. We have to come back. They're like, just take us to the marathon station. They're not there. We couldn't get the keys. We don't know what to do. I'm like, oh my gosh. I was like, guys, I can't keep taking it around. Like, we swear. They're just take us to the marathon station. That'll be it. I'm like, okay, this has got to be it. So I'm super concerned that I'm having to take them all over the place and running possibly illegal errands. And finally, we're driving all over the place the same way. Turn right, turn left, turn right. And then finally, Bernie's like, turn right here. So I turned right, and that happens to be the exact same block of the exact same street at the place where I started. And he doesn't know that. So I pulled in there, and they're like, yeah, this is the place. They said, just pull up right next to this yellow house here. The yellow house is my friend's house that I was coming to in the first place. And I was like, knowing full well that they didn't live there, I said, oh, is this where you guys live? And they're like, oh, no, this is not where we live. But this is where we get dropped off, though. I was like, aren't they taking you to the marathon station? They're like, oh, no, never. We don't need that anymore. I was like, I have no idea what's going on. So I dropped them off in front of the house, and they get out, and then immediately I'm out of there. I'm not parking now. I'm not going in my friend's house anymore. I drive off, and I'm driving around for a long time, making as many circles as I can, trying to get as many minutes away from them as I can get, so they know that I'm not going back into the house that I just dropped them off in front of. So finally, I come back to the house, but I come to the back, park in the back, I go in the back, and I walk inside, sit down at the table. My friend's like, oh, so how's your evening? So I told them this whole story I just told you guys. And they're like, oh yeah. It's like, I know that woman. Like, the exact same thing happened to my dad. Like, she's a prostitute. And so I'm like, what? So she's telling me, she's like, yeah, apparently she was trying to see if you were interested. So I suddenly reframed the entire 30 minutes that just happened with my newfound knowledge. And all of a sudden it made a little bit more sense. And I'm starting to think that maybe, can I have $10 and take me to the marathon and got to get the keys? Maybe that all meant something else completely different. And I wasn't picking it up. Maybe they thought it was. I definitely was not picking it up. But that's the end of my story. Thank you very much.